What's up, everybody? Yanive's in the house. Sweet. David Vosk. Nordium. From the lockdown San Francisco Bay Area, live every Tuesday night, it's ESG Live with Chuck and Raymir. Tonight, a deep dive into two of the fastest scooters ever tested, the Apollo Pro and limited edition Apollo Pro Ludicrous. Featuring Apollo co-founders Chris and Mac, along with head engineer LOI. And now your host, Chuck Temple. All right. What's going on, everybody? This is Chuck. Thank you so much for tuning in. This, I kind of have a feeling, is going to be a big show, judging by the amount of people that were already live chatting it up. I was trying to get in there, but yeah, I'm excited. This is going to be a good one. Anyway, if you're tuning in just now, smash that thumbs up button. Help us out for sure. Make sure you're subscribed just so you can, stay updated on all things ESG. Also, shout out to everybody on the East Coast going through the storms. Shout out to the rest of the world. Crazy stuff's happening today. But for everybody, it's awesome. Whether you're looking at this on your TV, your cell phone, the laptop, whatever. It's awesome to see everybody. And it's awesome to see everybody in the live chat. So I'm going to just say hi. Nordium. Looks like Vienna's on. David Vosk is in there. PEV Riders Club. I haven't seen you guys before. Yaniv. Anyway, I'm sure I'm missing a whole bunch of people, but what is up? Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Tonight, right? This week is all about these new Apollo scooters. You've probably been hearing about them a bit. It's the Apollo Pro and Apollo Pro Ludicrous. We're gonna have the whole, the main Apollo team on. So Chris, Mac, and LOI. So Chief Engineer, LOI, co-founders Chris and Mac. They're all gonna be on with us in about 10 minutes. We're gonna talk about how they develop these scooters, what's new, which one should you get, and then after that, we're basically gonna deep dive. I have all the data on. We just finished testing it. We hopefully will have a review out probably tomorrow. And we're going to go deep into all of the performance data on both scooters, but especially the Ludicrous, or the Ludo as we like to call it, and see how fast this thing is really. And I think it's going to be surprising. Okay, so today we've got Photo Friday. We're going to go over the next scooters to review. We got a deal of the week for you. We have, of course, our guests. We then have the deep dive. We then will have Raymir on for Micromobility news. You don't want to miss that. Industry news, a couple industry news elements. Then we got Q&A, just general Q&A. But remember, for the guests, while we're chatting, hit up Electric Scooter Guide in live chat, and then Chris told me earlier that like all questions are welcome and to just blow it up, and we'll try to get to as many as we can. Then we got the Facebook giveaway brought to you, of course, by Apollo. It's their week basically. So that's awesome. All right, this is episode number 48. So mission of the Electric Scooter Guide is to help you find the perfect electric scooter. We do the show every Tuesday at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And this episode is brought to you by the ESG website. The new and improved Electric Scooter Guide website now includes an updated database which adds water resistance ratings and scooter dimensions, all sortable and filterable and available in metric and imperial. Updated performance data of over 40 top electric scooters, including range and acceleration. The results of the world's largest electric scooter survey, showing you the top 13 electric scooters as voted by actual riders. Extensive reviews of over 43 electric scooters. The world's largest collection of updated and exclusive coupon codes to save you some cash. A new group ride finder local to your area. Check it out at electric-scooter.guide. All right, cool. Thank you, Ramir. That we little something new. We know we're on our game this week. All right, so if you're new to the community, you're on YouTube watching right now, of course, make sure you subscribe to us. If you're on Instagram, I'm posting a ton of behind the scenes footage lately on Instagram. So get on there just because like it's fun. And then also, if you do Facebook, we do have the most thriving, best, most awesome, amazing Facebook group, basically brought to you by David Vosk. We'll have to make him a commercial. We do stuff every day. I mean, literally I'll be on there tomorrow doing a live chat for half an hour again at 5 o'clock. Fridays, we do Photo Friday. Mondays, New Member Monday, plus a Facebook giveaway every single week. Usually all you have to do is like the post. We have exclusive interviews on there. Sometimes if there's random recall issues, I'll get a guest to come on just to the Facebook group because they don't want to have YouTube publicity kind of thing. So anyway, if you do Facebook, that's a place to be during the week. All right, so let's kick off the show with Photo Friday. Oh, all right. So, all right. Amazing Photo Friday this last Friday. So the way Photo Friday works on the Facebook, boom, Friday, David Voss makes a post. He says, it's Photo Friday, show us your scoots. And we get hundreds of people posting their scooters, and then we vote them, right? The whole community votes for them. The winners get on the show. So this is the winners. All right. These are the winners. All right. Honorable mention. It's a tie between Laurel Pinzon and Brandon Yavas. Brandon is in Los Angeles, California with his eMove Cruiser. He says, "That's awesome. Big thanks to Voro for bringing me in on and giving me the creative freedom to photograph and film scooters. Also, big thanks to my family for constant support and love." Thank you, Brandon. Maybe Brandon is a new photographer for Voro. I'm not sure. If he is, we still want to see the photos. He may not be eligible to win after this, but I mean, you can't deny this photo. It is pretty awesome. Okay, next up. Other honorable mention is Laurel Pinzon is in the mountains of Alberta, Canada with the El Diablo. He says, "I see all our photos and am just glad we are all participating and showing our sweet rides to the community. Every photo here is great and glad we all share our passion in how we ride. Everyone here is a winner." Amazing photo. I don't know what that scooter is. We have to find out what that is. I mean, it's the El Diablo. So it is what it is. Very cool. All right. Runner-up. This week, runner-up is a familiar face. I'm sure she's been winning for quite some time with the eMove Cruiser. Leading a storm in Sutherland, Australia. She says, I'd just like to thank you. It is always a joy posting for Photo Friday. Well done again, everyone. And well done to you, Brittany Clark. You have made it into the top something for like 5 weeks in a row. Very nice. Okay. And the winner, somebody new this week. We have a new winner, and you may know him from last week's Facebook event. He's the man who, well, we could dub him the one-wheel superhero for a story you'll have to find out from the Facebook group. Anyway, Corey, I don't know how to say his last name. Boney? That's the way I'm going to say it. With a record 48 votes. We've never had anybody with 48 votes before. Anyway, this is in Oleta State Park, Miami, with Fluid Free Rides Wolf Warrior. He says, I'd like to thank David Voss for getting me into scooters. And of course, thanks for all the kindness, everyone. Grateful for all the love. Amazing photo, Corey. This, I don't know how, I mean, yeah, like I'm a little jealous. I don't get that much air, but, we also have a little bit extra photo for you. We have the photo that we would like to be on there, where, you know, since he's in Miami, we got him courtesy of David Vosk, I believe, going over a crocodile. Anyway, congratulations, Corey. It's very awesome. Okay. Next scooters to review. So we've got a lot of content coming up. I think the one that's probably coming up the quickest will be an ultra portable showdown. There's a couple really good ultra portable scooters out there, and they're very different, and a lot of people are trying to figure out what's the best one. I think it's going to be the U-Scooters GT versus the Inokim Lite 2, just because they're around the same price, but different feature sets, but both really good and really good for ultra portables. So that's awesome. And then I think we're going to, anyway, all right. The rest of it will be a surprise. So next up, we've got a coupon for you, and it's the deal of the week. All right, deal of the week. Deal of the week this week, of course, since it's Apollo week, is the Apollo Pro and Apollo Pro Ludicrous. You can get the $100 off accessories. Link is down below. Link is down below, and you just, click the link. You just use basically most of the coupon codes we have. Just our website, electric-scooter.guide. Put it in, load up your car with some accessories, and get your scooter. I think on their website too, I know a lot of people are like waiting for scooters and this and that. I think they have the dates when they'll actually be shipped out on the website right now. Last I checked, you can find the links to both of those scooters just like right in the video description. So very cool. Okay. So let's see. We ready for the guests? Hope so. All right. Because I'm about to intro them. Joining us tonight is Christopher Ray, co-founder, Mac oh boy. I'm going to let Mac have to say his last name. I'm going to mess this up. They're both the co-founders. And LOI, I know that's how you say the first name. I know LOI Paquette. Anyway, we'll see if that's right. The engineer from Apollo Scooters and instrumental, I believe, in making the Ludo and implementing what hopefully they'll talk about soon. Apollo Scooters is one of the largest electric scooter manufacturers and distributors in North America with a focus on sustainable transportation solutions. Apollo Scooters currently produces 4 types of scooters with the goal of taking cars off the street, one scooter at a time. We're happy to have you guys on the show. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having us, guys.
Hi.
Hey, all right. So maybe everybody could just say their name because I don't know if our audience all knows who you guys are. Plus, I'm going to butcher your last name, so you might as well do it the right way.
Yeah, I'm Chris, co-founder.
I'm Ilwa. This is how you say my name.
Elowa.
And I am Mac, the other co-founder.
Awesome. Happy to have you guys on, and I'm pretty stoked to talk about some pretty amazing electric scooters. We finished testing them, and they're like it's I can't wait to talk about them. Like I'm like salivating over the deep dive portion that'll come right after this. But before we get into that, just want to kind of chat with you guys. For anybody that doesn't know, maybe you guys could tell a little bit about the company and how you guys got into electric scooters.
Sure. Yeah, I'll jump in. So we started the company probably a year and a half ago. simply because when we were in Canada, we came back from Europe and there was no electric scooters, and in Europe you would see Lime, Bird, all these rental scooters on the roads. And then in Canada, when you come and you try and purchase a scooter, you had to wait like 40 to 50 days. So we literally just put up some ads to see if any demand would come up. We put them on, Facebook Marketplace, Google, and the next day we woke up and we have 52 messages from people saying, want to buy, want to buy, want to buy. And straight away we were like, oh my God, there's a huge market, there's a huge demand, and there's clearly no supply. So within half an hour, we created a company and then just started selling Xiaomi's, ES2s, the regular basic scooters. And then last year, we finally took it a step further and went to China and visited literally every single electric scooter factory, saw the quality-wise, and then created our own brand. And that's where we are today. And next year is going to be much bigger, and we'll talk a bit more about that after.
Awesome. That was great. So tell me, let's get into this. Like Apollo Pro, right? There's 4 versions. I know people are always curious, like what are the different versions? Can you kind of go through them, explain them a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So as you mentioned, there are 4 variants. Really, there are 3, but one of them comes with 2 different brake sets. So let's go over the 3. First up, you have the 52 volts. So we call it the most affordable high performance scooter in our portfolio. Still phenomenal, great performance, and I'm sure you'll go into the details and the specs. It does very, very well. But there is always going to be a segment of the population, some specific riders that are looking for more. That's when we get to the second option, the 60 volt. The 60 volt is great because it's still the same chassis as the 52, but we've upgraded the battery to a 60 volt. And so you have that extra torque, that extra acceleration that just pushes you even further. We've been in this business for a couple of years now, and it seems like as much as this is a young industry, innovation does not seem to be at the forefront at all times. So it was actually our engineer's initiative to take it upon himself to see, how much further can we push this thing, let's really see what is the limit of this vehicle. And that's when Eloi started to collaborate with a company here in Montreal called Ludicrous. They have a history in electric longboards, very high end, very, very high performance. And really the brain of that vehicle that enables it to be so high performing is the controller. So that's exactly what we took from them. Really, everything that they've been working on for the last 4 years has led up to this one controller that's just so incredibly spectacular in the way it's built. And I spent countless hours working with them, trying to find a way to plug it into our 60 volt. And as you very well know, that's exactly what Ryan was trying to do as well, but unfortunately unsuccessfully. So this is just to give you an idea of how, like, this is the level we're talking about. Ryan was trying to do this and they didn't manage to, but Owa did. So really 60 volt Ludicrous, that's enabled by this Storm 4 controller from Ludicrous.
Wow. Awesome. Okay. And we're gonna read. So for anybody that wants visuals and stuff like that, we're gonna detail each one individually, like later on. But just wanted to make sure everybody knows. I know we talked a little bit about this on the live chat. Yeah, the live chat last week. A lot of people were wondering, what is the Ludicrous? Like, what is it? What is the difference? And it sounds like, right? You said it's LaCroix.
Oh, well, you can demonstrate.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it? I was saying LaCroix, but that's that drink that you get at Costco.
LaCroix.
Right?
It means like the cross, I guess, and it's in reference to the cross on the Mont Royal in Montreal. To give you an idea, this is the old controller or the regular controller inside the 52 volt and the 60 volt, and this is a LaCroix controller. So right out of the bat, you can see the wire is much bigger. You can pass way more amp through them.
How much more along?
So basically, this controller can deliver around 50 amp per motor. With this one, you can go up to 160 amp per motor. So it's like 3 times more.
Wow.
And just battery-wise, with this one, it's 30 amp per controller, so 60 amp in total. This is when you want to climb hill and you need like really a lot of juice. This one is able to deliver over 150. It's a complete different level.
Yeah, I remember. So what else is also really cool about, we've been riding both scooters for a while, and you can tune, right? You can tune the scooters. There's an app so that you can kind of configure it. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. So right now the app is still on beta testing, so you need to register to have access to it. But the goal is really to have more, because right now it's really built for like more electric skateboard. We want to adapt the app to an Apollo version that's going to suit more the scooter world. And the dream of it is to be able to configure the whole scooter just with, it's called a wizard. It's a way to set up your scooter really easily. And with this, you'll be able to tune the acceleration, the torque, everything. And to give you an idea, it will look kind of like this. So you have 3 bar, and you can choose torque, the region brake, the straight of it, and the acceleration. And the goal is just to have much more detail over it. So you can just slide them like this and choose the setting you want.
Yes. And so when we worked on the PC version of the app to tune it and different things, is that kind of like going, will the phone app kind of replace that PC interface?
Yeah, exactly. So the PC is just too complicated. It's an old tool that it's out since I think 2010, something like that. So yeah, the app's going to be much more easier, and it's more a user-friendly app than the tool. As you saw, it's really complicated, and you need someone to guide you through like all the steps with the more complex tools. So this will bring it to like the general public.
Yeah, I think the tuner folks, the hacker folks, the people that want to tweak things, right, will probably love that because it's got a million options, of course. But then the people that want something user friendly, of course, the app, that works, right? It's a slider bar. It's as simple as it gets. And it was quick for us. It was quick actually to set it all up. It was just a few settings you change in an app, boom, you're good to go. But I think also another difference is the phone is the display.
Mm-hmm.
And so that gives you kind of like everything: speed, battery life. It'll track your route, I believe, right? Give you battery information. I think it tells you the temperature of your battery. So it tells you everything.
A lot of details.
Yeah. And again, riding at like 40 miles plus per hour, you shouldn't really be looking at your display or your phone, and you should be wearing a full face helmet. But yes, it does display all the things that you would need, of course.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to just remind the audience right now, if you have questions, queue them up by hitting, and I see people are already doing this, just mention I guess you could mention at Apollo, but it's easier for us because it highlights it in orange or something. If you say at Electric Scooter Guide and then ask your question, I'll queue those up, and we're going to do Q&A with the Apollo team right at the end. So, in 5 or 10 minutes or so, we'll do that. So queue up those questions. I get them, just so you know. So there's a way that you can ask Chris, Mac, and LOI these things. So when you guys ride the Ludo and the Pro, right, different versions, I guess, what do you, I'll get into what I think of like the differences and how it actually rides, but for you guys, what is the user experience like for you?
Well, first of all, it's really, you mentioned it very well last week. You said it was like playing a video game with your 2 thumbs, because you're accelerating with your right throttle and you have the regen brake on your left throttle. I think it's a personal preference. Like for me personally, what I love the most is that you never actually touch your brakes, your hydraulic brakes. You literally just accelerate and regen, and it's so smooth. It's more progressive. It's not as it's progressive in terms of speed, but you're still getting a much higher acceleration. I don't know how that makes sense, but essentially, like, you have so much more control, and then you just can, like, braking on a regen for me is literally a cherry on the cake. I think it's much safer. You don't need to wear out your brakes every 400 miles, and then you don't get squeaky brakes and things like that. It's just like it's all built in the motor, and you're recharging your battery at the same time. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's the ease and the comfort of driving.
Yeah, cool. Anyone else want to chime in on that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, the kind of counterintuitive insight was perhaps that despite this being the most powerful and the fastest scooter we've ever, ridden, it actually felt the safest. And I think a lot of it stems from the fact that, you don't have to let go of the throttle. You don't have to switch your hand position. There's no kind of, gimmicks when it comes to moving your hands to actually brake safely. And the region just takes care of it all. If you think about braking and accelerating as a curve, a lot of scooters don't do it very well. They just put a straight line, right? And so what we did is we actually looked at it more exponentially, so that, at the very beginning, the torque is not off the charts. It's actually still on progressive. But then let's say once you hit that 30-mile mark, you still have just as much torque as you do at the beginning, right? Which is quite unique because I think a lot of scooters, once you get to that, let's say 75% capacity, the last 25% is kind of painful, to get to that top speed. But with the Pro Ludicrous, both on the braking and accelerating side, it excels just as well at that 75% mark as it does at the 0% mark.
Yeah. I mean, I can't wait to talk about this, but I noticed some things that I really like, such as when, people ask, hey, can you do a braking test from top speed, right? And they ask me that on a lot of scooters. And, if you're actually in an emergency situation, right, and you have to brake and you're going 40 miles an hour, right, that's scary, right? Because it's very hard to, even with hydraulic brakes, which are great, right? When you're in an emergency, you tend to like really, smash on things, right? Because your adrenaline's pumping all of a sudden, and you see a car pull out in front. And when you do that with hydraulic brakes or any brake, any normal brake, right, you're going to lock those tires. And when you lock up tires at 40 miles an hour, both of them, that's not a good thing. So with what I noticed, and we'll talk about this later when it comes to the hill climb test, because we had to reconfigure our hill climb test because we were at such a high speed at the top of the hill. What I noticed is that when I hit that regen brake, right, it's like, because my hand's already there, right, the thumb's already there. It is like I would always say, it's like riding a video game. Your hand is already there. I can hit that regen brake, and what I notice is that the tires don't lock up, and yet you still get this massive braking action, right? That's that regenerative electronic braking, which typically is very weak. In this scooter, it's tunable, and it's extremely strong if you want it to be. So I still lean back, and during that whole braking, if I'm going 40 miles an hour, I might hear a little, like maybe twice for just a hair of a second. Otherwise, you're getting traction the whole time when you're braking. And so I agree. I think it might be the safest at speed riding, with that type of technology that I've ever seen. Anyway, I mean, we can get into it, but I think there's a lot of very cool things that you guys developed with this scooter. I'm going to get into more and more of them, but we could talk, I'm sure we could talk forever. How was it developed? Can you kind of go into that a little bit? How it got developed? I think LOI, right, had a big part of this.
Yeah, sure. So basically I was building my electric skateboard because this is another of my passion. And we just saw it was out like a week after we started developing it. And I asked the guy at Aqua if they thought that we were able to fit it inside the Ludicrous, or at this time the 60 volt. And they told me that yes, but we need to do something on our side, like to change the old connection to fit on the 60 volt. The sensor connector are different. It's not the same order. Same thing for the motor phase wire. And this is why it's still kind of early in the process, and we don't have the light yet on the scooter. That's why we are giving it away when the customer buy the scooters. But so the first step was really we plugged it when we have all the adapter, and we tried to make it work. It didn't work first. We blew up some motor, some battery. We did go through the whole process of replacing parts. But once we were able to really dial in the perfect setting, it was a game changer. We saw it right away with the regen brake. Just that alone, for me, it's a game changer. I'm the guy who's changing all the brake of the customer, so it's really annoying. And when I see someone that needs to change his brake after 200 kilometers, well, I can only praise for those controllers. But development-wise, it took maybe a month to really get the perfect setting, and it wouldn't have been possible without the Lacroix team. I mean, their engineer there, they are incredible, and to give you an idea, the guy who's behind the code and help us configure it. He was a NASA engineer, to give you an idea of the level that is required to do this. But I think the only reason why we succeed and Ryan did not, it's really because of the proximity to Apollo to Lacroix in Montreal.
Okay, right? Because Ryan is in Los Angeles?
Yeah,
I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Interesting. Okay, that's good. That's interesting to know. So I want to get to these questions. So let's go. So I have a couple more questions for you guys, and then we're going to get to the audience question. So, what's your guys' so we'll talk more about the Ludicrous and the Pro models, but for you guys as a company, what's next for you guys? Like, what's on the horizon? What's this year? What's next year?
Yeah, so this really taught us that there is a lot more to be done in the electric scooter world, and we feel a sense of responsibility to kind of keep pushing forward and keep bringing the most exciting and interesting features to market. And now that we've been doing this for a couple of years, we've also gotten a ton of feedback. We have a survey, kind of closed group of customers that are willing to participate in feedback surveys. That allows us to constantly bounce ideas off of them and get that instantaneous feedback to understand what is actually important and what isn't. So it's all to say we actually have 2 scooters coming down the pipeline. The first one, as you know, is the Apollo Phantom. That's our big bet. We're going to be releasing the pre-orders in September of this year.
September. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Really, all I can reveal at this point is that it's just going to be a completely new frame, a completely new suspension, a completely new display. We've integrated a lot of the safety features that have been requested time and time again, like signal lights. We made a point of really making the scooter kind of a combination of all the most sought after features from across the industry and putting them all into one scooter. And then the second scooter we have in the works that's going to be available, I want to say in early spring, maybe late winter of next year. Is actually going to be, it's also a dual motor scooter, but we're aiming to actually use a slightly different frame with that guy. It's going to be a bit more affordable than the Phantom. So you can think of it as kind of a little sibling to the Phantom. It's going to be essentially a more affordable version of the Phantom.
Exciting. Yeah, I can't wait to see that, especially, yeah. What about, is there any plans for, the technology? I'm going to love to talk at length about the technology and how it feels to ride and all these things in just a few minutes. But is there any plans for the technology that you've developed with with this partnership, with Lacroix, right? Is there any plans for bringing that into future scooters, or will, is it a one and done thing here, or what's the long game for this? Because this is something, I tell you, this is something, you guys know, but I'm gonna say straight up, this is new, this is different, and there's a lot of things about this, particularly the Ludicrous, that are kind of next level, and I'm just kind of wondering, where's that going?
The short answer is that we don't know. It's all going to depend on the success of the Ludo. It's like a test that we do. We only have 50 or 100 of them available for this year. So we're going to see how the market react to it, because there's a big price point coming with that technology. But of course, like the dream will be to have our app connected to it and giving this region to all the scooters. But we need to have an MOQ, a minimum order quantity, that is big enough to make sense financially to put it in all the scooters, like the one we will release next year. So no, but we truly hope that it's gonna happen.
Okay, awesome. What about, so you guys mentioned that there are some service centers that are getting brought forth. I know the servicing aspect is such a big deal with electric scooters, and it's awesome. You guys were the first ones, I believe, to really introduce a 24-month warranty that you, I believe, offer still on all the Apollo scooters. Along with that, right, the local service, I know you guys have been building that out. Can you just kind of comment on where you have service centers, how people can get service on your scooters?
Sure, yeah. Again, at the end of the day, it's an expensive purchase, and support is one of the biggest, most important things for customers, to have the assets, the spare parts, and the support at all times. So today we have already 3 major service centers in the US, because the US is one of our biggest markets. So currently in Louisiana, in New York, and in San Francisco. And every few weeks we're inviting to so many different companies to get more and more on board. Because at the end of the day, having a local partnership is always great. But honestly, the more assets and the more sort of guidance you provide to customers, what I love about electric scooters is that the community is so passionate, and they're all willing to try it themselves. It's not rocket science. If you have the proper step-by-step instructions and the parts, which Elwa and his team have filmed, very simple videos of how to change everything. Sometimes it's quite easy to do. But of course, you want to have that as an extra support, because lots of people ask us, are you in Canada? can you support our scooters? But yeah, so if you're, on the east, you have New York, you have Louisiana. If you're on the west, you have San Fran. And we're always there to support you because yes, a 2 years warranty is what we're very proud of. Again, it makes customers, join the electric scooter trend and also feel confident and comfortable that they always have the support behind us.
Awesome. Very cool. Okay, I have a ton of questions. And I want to thank, I think this is only one of the few times we've hit 200 viewers. So everybody that's watching, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Apollo, for being our guest. And, I just wanted to just quickly mention that we don't normally break 200 simultaneous viewers. This is kind of awesome. Apparently people are wanting to hear about Apollo Pro scooters. So this is great. So you guys ready for questions?
Of course, go ahead.
All right, here we go. Pinky in the Brain says, Apollo scooters, we gonna see some serious tires for some off-roading.
Wait, how serious is serious?
I don't know. I'm thinking knobby tires is what I think of as serious for off-roading.
Yeah, I mean, we do offer we call them winter tires, but I guess they're off-road tires for the Apollo Pro at the moment. So if that's what you're looking for, it's already on the website, so you can check it out there.
Perfect.
Those are more hybrid as well. It's a mix. If you're looking for solid off-road, we have these as well. Like we can get them easily. Yeah.
Okay, so it's on the accessories page of the website, I assume, or I think it's under accessories, right?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay, next question. Pico RF Woo says, does a version of this controller compatible with the city? I think that's a no, but
No, it's compatible, but it's just that you are paying, because in there's two controllers, so you are paying the price of two controllers, but you have one motor. We're gonna test some version that it's for a single motor, but does it really make sense compared to the whole price of the scooter to pay like that amount for this controller? I don't know, but it's possible. If people are willing to pay for it, we might offer it.
okay.
But,
Yeah, I know the controller by itself is probably very expensive.
it is.
Okay. Okay. Robert Fontanosa asks, what cells are you using in the Ludicrous pack?
That would be Samsung cells.
Okay, thank you. And I believe it's LG for the 52, right? The two 52 models, and then Samsung, right, for the 60 volt and Ludicrous.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. I think this is the same question as before. Can they explore off-road? It's interesting. A lot of questions about off-roading. I mean, unless there's something to add to it, we kind of covered that already. There are off-road and hybrid tires, correct? Okay. Pico RF. Next question. Wait, I got that question already. Robert Fontanosa says, are you going to have riders at the Ryan PEV race?
So funny enough, I actually applied just for fun because I didn't know what I was going, and we actually got accepted. But there is a big but. It's in September, and we can't fly to the US right now. So logistically, we have to think about this. But the Polo Pro Ludo got accepted, and now we're just we'll work on it.
If any racers would like to participate,
volunteer,
please do reach out and let us know.
Send your CV to.
You might get some. We'll have to get Corey over there. He can jump over alligator on the race. Awesome. Cool. Okay. That's pretty cool. Okay. Nelson Beltran says, are you guys looking to increasing the weight limit for these scooters?
The short answer is no. And I'm thinking mostly about the Pro. I mean, the Pro is what it is. There's the recommended weight limit, and then there's probably what you can do with it. Whether that's safe or not is up to the end customer. And we can give you guidance. We can say, it's up to, let's say, 330 pounds. But if you're 350 and you choose to go for it, by all means, do it at your risk. That said, with regards to the Phantom, what I can say is that it's going to be in a similar range, so about 330 pounds max load. And with regards to the smaller sibling scooter that we still have not come up with a name for, I think it's going to be just a little bit less, probably closer to 120 kilos, which is, I believe, what, 280 pounds-ish, 300-ish? Yeah.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. God is my judge asks, can we download the app to see the settings?
Yeah, you can. You need an external link to really access it. But if you look for the Storm Core app on Google, you might find the link. But as I said, you need to register as a beta app for Apple. It's a bit complicated, as you saw. It took a few iPhones to really be able to download it. But yes, you can. You just need to look online for it. And actually, we might post the link directly on our website to make it easier for the customer who buy the Ludo.
Okay. Okay, awesome. Same person, another question. Can you configure the throttle to be like an electric car to have one throttle driving? Example, off the throttle automatically applies the regen brake.
Yes, you can. I'm not sure it's the safest way to drive your scooter at those speeds because it's just a reflex to always let go when you are going too fast. So with that kind of regen that is super strong, might not be the best idea, but yes, you can. You can
Okay.
set. You have like 10 different configurations that you can do with the throttle. So yes.
Okay. Yes, I agree with you. It seems like it'd be weird because you'd be going this way and then you'd be going that way. I guess you could tune it, but anyway. Okay. Let's see. PEV Riders Club is not they didn't have a question. They just said, make sure to wear full armor and helmet and everything. And I think I think it's good to mention that anytime you're going, at speed, right? We always wear full face helmets, bigger jackets, right? You can get knee pads, elbow pads, things like that. Wrist pads. And actually it's nice that you guys are giving away a lot of that safety gear tonight. So it's good to mention those, I think, all the time. Okay. Okay, one of these questions is changing as I'm about to read it. Robert Fantinosa asks again, what is the amp hour amount on the Ludicrous?
21 from the battery is the same as the 60 volt. It's the exact same battery. The only thing we do is to bypass the fuse of the battery. So instead of having 30 amp fuse, we push it to 40 amp per fuse.
Awesome.
But it's
Okay. Nordium asks, does the Ludo use XT60 or XT90 connectors? I'm sorry, this is a very technical question. I have no idea what he's talking about, but go ahead if you know.
Those like kind of weird yellow connector. XT60 is for 60 amp maximum to pass through it, and XT90 is for 90 amp. It's just bigger and it's colder when it's running at high amp like this. But to respond to a question, it's XT90.
Okay. Wow. Okay. He knows it. All right. Sean Parker, some of these questions maybe is better for me to go over later, like how is suspension on the Pro? You guys want to comment on the suspension of the Pro?
It's like
Great.
a trampoline.
Yeah.
It's what? Say again. Sorry, I'm going to turn on some noise gate because I'm hearing, I think there's a truck
Wing.
outside. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. We have this cool new, there we go. How's that? That should be better for everybody. Yeah, okay. Sorry, go ahead. Suspension on the Pro.
Yeah, so the first thing they say, it's like a trampoline, and like tons of people have said it's the best suspension on the market, and I totally believe it. The way that the spring are positioned and everything, it's just intuitive, like gravity-wise. So when you jump, everything makes sense, and so far we had like one suspension to change for a whole other reason. So it seemed to be a very reliable suspension.
It's honestly like riding on the cloud, and what's great about it is that you can also adjust it. So if you're going, for a very fast ride on a flat road, you can, make it much stronger so you don't bounce as much. If you're going off road, you can loosen it. All you need is a wrench. And yeah, it's like riding on a cloud. It's incredible.
And if you have questions about how to adjust the suspension, please mention David Bosk. He seems to be the expert now.
He probably is. Awesome. Okay. Okay, if the question's the same, guys, I'm not gonna keep asking the same one. Let's see. Next question. Another question. When are we gonna see a true upgraded hydraulic rear and front shock at 135 millimeters front and 165 millimeters rear?
I think people people are referring to the D&M suspension that other websites offer. It's air suspension. It's not hydraulic. The reason we did test some of them, but it's always the same problem. They are leaking. They are leaking oil. They are leaking air. The spring really seems to be the one that you don't need to take care of, and it's the reliable one. So we don't want to change for something that is worse over time.
Okay. Kim Richmond's asking, how heavy will the Phantom be?
We're targeting around 32 kilos, which is, I believe, about 70 pounds.
Okay. So a little lighter than the Pros.
Yes.
So that's, yeah.
Got it. Okay. Let's see. Pink, another question. The Phantom will be in between which models? The second dual motor, will it be above the Explorer? So I think they're kind of trying to figure out where within the range of scooters you sell will the Phantom be popped into.
So I think the Phantom will come in a number of variants. So the short answer is it depends on which variant you would go for. At its very lowest, it would be above the Explorer. At its very highest, it would be on par with the Pro potentially. Mm-hmm. So there will be a number of options to choose from. That said, I think it's going to be a distinct enough scooter from the Pro that there will be arguments to be made for both, depending on what the ultimately purpose of buying a scooter is for the customer. So I would say give us another few weeks where we're actually on the verge of receiving a sample. And once we put a couple thousand kilometers on that scooter, we'll have a better idea of exactly where it fits. But we're still very much on track with the September timeline, so stay tuned.
Okay. All right, cool. Okay. Yaniv, I can't ask this. Yaniv's making a joke. Is it spelled ludicrous as in Ludacchris? He says he's such a nerd, LOL. Anyway. Okay. You don't have to answer that. Let's see. Will the second scooter, see, you guys talk about a scooter that doesn't exist, and that's all the questions that you're going to get. But anyway, another question about the Phantom is the lighter Phantom, will it feature 10-inch tubeless tires is the question.
So the Phantom will feature tubeless tires. That Phantom sibling is referring to will not feature tubeless tires. The sibling is really just a cost-effective way of getting a dual motor scooter into the market. And so unfortunately, tubeless tires aren't the most cost-effective type of tire out there. So we went with just to keep the price affordable for our customers.
Got it. Okay. Robert says, great collaboration with Lacroix. They make the best power electric skateboards. This is not a question, just a statement. But yeah. Okay. Last question. Until more come, but I think this is the last question because we got to get on with the show. Saying, are you partnering with Titan, the current line manufacturer, for the 2 new scooters?
We are not actually. We're moving away from Titan as great as they have been in supporting us up until this point. We're looking for slightly different competencies in the manufacturer. So we're partnering with someone who has 15 years of manufacturing experience in the scooter industry. We're working with an independent design company. We have a dedicated engineer on the factory floor who's actually doing a lot of the kind of hands-on work. So we feel like we've spent the last 6 months really building a highly competent team that is willing to take a step forwards, outside of the established scooter realm. And that's really just meant to allow us to not have to comply with what other customers want, if you will. It essentially just allows us to do whatever we want, and there's the sky's the limit.
Awesome. Okay, wonderful, guys. This has been great. It's a pleasure, chatting with you guys today. I know we can go on forever and ever. If you guys want Apollo back, just let us know. Or, we can do something on Facebook. I'm sure those are a little easier. They don't take days of setup and everything. But any last things you guys want to say?
Maybe I can jump in. There seems to be a lot of questions about our stock availability. So just a really quick note, we are aware of the stock delays. We are aware of the shipping delays. And rest assured, we're taking this very seriously, and we're making some major changes to how we run the business to make sure that we are in stock. We can get that stock to you as soon as possible. and make sure it arrives safely. So a lot of great changes coming very, very soon.
Wonderful. I see, you know what, I'm just watching the live chat and there's just like, it just keeps going. I can't always like monitor both at the same time, but we'll get to the other questions. And I think just real quick, the waterproof rating, I believe, is IP54. Is that right?
Right.
For Sean Parker, right? Okay. Wonderful. Any other last things you guys want to say while you're here?
I mean, thank you so much for having us on the show, guys. We really appreciate it. And again, we're always open to feedback. We're always open to helping customers. And if we can help anything in the scooter community, do reach out to us. And yeah, thank you all for your support. It means a lot.
Awesome. All right, you guys, thank you all for taking the time out of your nights. You know, it is night over there, I know right now, and we really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for all your questions, and thank you guys, you know, the whole Apollo team, Chris, Mac, and LOI, for just being, you know, answering every single question that I saw on my screen here. That's awesome. Anyway, until next time, I'm sure we'll talk soon. I hope you guys, watch the rest of it, and then we'll have the premiere of the dual scooter premiere, I believe, tomorrow morning, launching on our YouTube channel. So I hope you guys check that out. But anyway, thanks again for coming on, and we'll talk again soon.
Thanks very much, Doug.
Cheers, guys.
Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. So great. Okay. Thank you guys. That was a lot of amazing questions. You're going to love what's coming up next, which is like all the charts that you ever wanted and more. Colorful charts, actually. I did all of them myself in this morning and last night and yesterday. Anyway, super, super happy that, I mean, the whole team came on, which is great. We feel they give us a lot of support. We also, just so you know, I hear feedback from every social channel, because we run so many social channels, and the kind of customer service and just like response that we get about them is nearly 100% positive, only because I just can't think of any negative anything that I've heard about Apollo in terms of their scooters, their customer service. So it's, there's a handful of brands out there that are kind of like top notch when it comes to helping customers, and they're in that group. Okay. So, we got that. If you have more questions about the scooter, keep going with the questions, and Ramir and I will get to them at the end. It could be questions about any scooter as well. So before we go into the deep dive, we are going to just remind you that this episode is brought to you by the Electric Scooter Guide website. Improved Electric Scooter Guide website now includes an updated database which adds water resistance ratings and scooter dimensions, all sortable and filterable, and available in metric and imperial. Updated performance data of over 40 top electric scooters, including range and acceleration. The results of the world's largest electric scooter survey, showing you the top 13 electric scooters as voted by actual riders. Extensive reviews of over 43 electric scooters. The world's largest collection of updated and exclusive coupon codes to save you some cash. A new group ride finder local to your area. Check it out at electric-scooter.guide. All right. Okay. So let's talk about this scooter. Let's get down and dirty into the details here. So, we're going to have the big review coming up tomorrow. It's been weeks and weeks in the making. So much testing, so much retesting, so much, 2 scooters in it, right? But what we always like to do for you is get into the details, right? This is an extended review, basically. And I'm going to focus on what you guys want to know, which is probably how fast does this dang thing go. But first, let me just quickly, and I'll just do this real quick, compare the 4 models so you know what we're talking about. Or if you just tuned in, we're talking about the Apollo Pro variants, right? I think of them, I guess there's 4. There's the 52 volt without hydraulic. There's the 52 volt with hydraulic. There's the 60 volt with, of course, hydraulic. And then there's the 60 volt Ludicrous. Okay, so those are the 4, and I think there's a chart here that we have for you. So you can either get the 52 or the 60, okay? The 52, if I were gonna buy a scooter, I didn't have $3,500, The 52 is actually enough acceleration for me. It's not jerky. It's a super smooth come up. And, you know, I'll ride close to 50 miles an hour, but only when I need a test. I'm almost 40 years old. Not that age has anything to do with anything, because I know there's plenty of riders out there in their 50s that are going really fast. But, you know, I don't know. I guess I settled down in life a little bit here. So, yeah. So that's, for me, the 52 is kind of that sweet spot. But of course, I would recommend the hydraulic brakes on the 52 because it's only $150 more. And that $150 for the hydraulic brakes is fantastic. The hydraulic brakes are fantastic. It's like 2 fingers and you can have full control over everything on those hydraulic brakes. Now, moving up to 60 just gets you massive power, way more than the 52, way more. I know the difference in the 52 and 60 doesn't sound like a big difference, but it's extremely fast. I'm talking about if you have it on maxed out everything, it will rock your head back. The Ludicrous is a different kind of scooter than there has ever been in the history of scooters. As far as I've seen, and I've looked into other scooters we haven't even reviewed, it's different. It's a different controller that's ever been out there. And okay, controller, whatever, how does it actually function? It functions differently than any other scooter that is out there, I believe. And of course you have not only the 2 hydraulic brakes, but you've got your right side thumb throttle, left side thumb regen braking system. We'll go over all of that. And of course the batteries are different. We went over that, but anyway, you get the, 1216 or so, 1222 watt hours LG on the 52s, right? And then once you step up to the 60 and the Ludicrous, right, you're getting the 1260 watt hour Samsung. Okay. So I guess the question, right, that people want to know is how fast is these scooters, right? And I made some charts, right, all yesterday about how fast this thing is. So let's bring it up. So 0 to 15 times. I'm gonna pull these up while you have them up, so I know what I'm talking about. But it's fast. It's we're getting 1.7 seconds on both the Pro and the Ludicrous. You can look and see the top scooters, and these are some of the fastest scooters, all dual motor, except for I just put the eMove Cruiser in there just to, give a sense of like what a very good single motor scooter can do. So at 0 to 15, right, I put the Apollo Pro and Ludicrous there on the left. As we go up in the miles per hour here, we're going to keep the left side colors the same, but some of the other colors might change a little bit, and some of these scooters won't hit every mile per hour. So just kind of watch. So at 15, both of those scooters became the fastest scooters that we've ever tested. That's the deal. When we test, right, we test minimum 3 times. If we feel we have a consistent 3 times, we're good. Sometimes we'll go up to 4 or 5 times. We take the median number that we get in terms of that time. We use Race Logic equipment. We're on the same test track with the same weight rider every single time. We start from a dead stop on every setting maxed out. We check tire pressure before we go and put it exact. So it's a consistent format that we've used on over 40 scooters now. So that's what we got. 1.7 seconds to 15. And now you can compare this, 3.4 seconds for the eMove Cruiser. I think we're at somewhere around 4.9, 5.1 for your like Xiaomi M365. So it's very, very, very fast. Let's bring up the 0 to 20 times. So when we're talking about 0 to 20, okay, now you've got the Cabo Wolf Warrior that really shows its kind of like muscle, right? The Wolf Warrior is a heavier scooter that doesn't hit its mark until, kind of more towards the mid and high range. And you can also look at the Kiwa Q Power. Those are the 2 of the other fastest scooters that we've tested. So now you're looking at the Ludicrous at 2.3 seconds. It is tying the Wolf Warrior to get to 20, with the Apollo Pro basically being the 3rd fastest scooter that we've ever tested. So there you have some more kind of numbers, and we're going to show a chart of everything kind of at the end. a lot of people, you know, find that 20 to 25 miles per hour is kind of the sweet spot for electric scooters. And you know, I kind of tend to agree. For me, it's maybe more like 25 to 30. So like, am I going to 40 miles an hour on a typical commute? No. So these are the numbers that I like to see. Okay. So let's go to 25. So at 25 miles an hour, now you're starting to see where the Ludicrous comes in. When I'm riding the Ludicrous, right, and I take it, you know, I'll go 15, 20 in like obviously a couple seconds, right? But then if I'm trying to like get, you know, if I'm riding consistently and then I hit that thumb accelerator, there's no other scooter that has that torque, that G-force at that 15 to 20 miles an hour. And then you say you're kind of like consistent at that speed. If you want to speed up quickly, I don't believe there's any scooter that can speed up from that 15 or 20 to 25, 30, 35 miles an hour faster than the Ludicrous. And it may be, you know, I don't know. So Ludicrous, 3.1 seconds. The next highest is, I guess, the Q Power, right? And then right after that is the Apollo Pro 60, which is, again, right, the Q Power is a big, massive scooter that, you know, definitely not as well built. You can say that. Over on the right, of course, you got the wide wheel and the Cruiser, which are just, you know, they're around 12 seconds or so. So not really. They're about to disappear. All right, let's go to 30 miles per hour. Now you've got some other things going on, right? I'll just let the data talk for itself. 4 seconds is more than a second faster than any other scooter that we've ever tested ever. So there you go. And, you know, these other scooters are, of course, amazing scooters, right? I mean, all of these scooters are great scooters. But there is something special about, and I'm going to talk about the Ludicrous, but you can look at the Pro and compare the price of the Pro versus like the Wolf Warrior and things like that, and the weight of it and the size of it, right? And you can also see that like the Pro 60, right, which we fully tested, is also right up there with the fastest scooters like ever. Okay. To 35 miles per hour, the difference gets worse for everybody else. Yeah, this is it. This is the fastest scooter, you know, that we've ever tested. This is why. And the differences get bigger and bigger as you go up in the speed. It's as faster at every single speed. Let's go to 40. There's only a couple scooters left that even go to 40, right? Because the Mantis Pro doesn't quite actually hit 40 for us, so that's why this is why it disappeared from this. This is where, right, the Wolf Warrior, right, is definitely gonna beat the Pro 60, but not the Ludicrous. Not even close. Not even close. Okay, so let's look at 4 scooters. So there I did a little comparison. So you can kind of see, let's see, comparison full. So this is just like, so you can see the 4 scooters that are, you know, probably closest in terms of price and in terms of quality, right? Like the Mantis Pro, super popular scooter, around that same price, right? It's like maybe it starts a little bit lower and then top ends a little bit lower. The Wolf Warrior, of course, is about $3,000. It is a heavier scooter. It's a more heavy duty scooter, right? It's about 101 pounds. So not something that that I can lift upstairs. Apollo Pro, right, is in blue here. The Ludicrous is in blue. The Pro 60 is in red. And there's your kind of acceleration graph, right? Lower in this case is going to be better, right? So the lower you get, the faster it's getting up to speed because time is on the y-axis in this case. And then just for fun, I threw in the eMove Cruiser. So you can just see, if we can pull up the eMove Cruiser one, yeah. So you can just see where the eMove Cruiser, again, a fantastic scooter. It's not a speed demon, right? It's a fast for a single motor. But if you're trying to get to 25 miles an hour, you're getting to 25 miles an hour in 3 seconds or 4 seconds with these other comparison scooters versus 11 seconds. It's not, I mean, this is the difference, right? This is what's going on. I don't know what else to say. I think this shows what's going on. We also, I don't know if everybody knows this, we don't put this on our website much, but we do a 200-foot test. And we did that because my cousin Jeremy, he's super into cars, and he was like, it's not about 0 to 60 time. It's about the quarter mile time. Well, I don't have a quarter mile that's straight that I can use for every scooter because we do these sometimes once a week. But I do have 200 feet and 400 feet. In the video that's coming, you'll see the 200-foot speed tests. But what I have for you right now is a 200-foot speed test. And let me just tell you, let's look at the time first. We have the time pulled up. So if the time is up, you can see how long it takes to get to 200 feet, okay? And as you can see, right, these mimic what you probably kind of heard about. It's about 6 seconds, 6.5 seconds to get to 200 feet. And if you want to know the speed at 200 feet, okay, you can also see where the Ludicrous is. The Ludicrous is close to 40 miles per hour within 200 feet. Now, 200 feet, right, that's like way less than a block. That's, it's 61 meters for all of you outside of the United States. Meters, 61 meters. Okay, let's see, hill climb test. So the hill climb test was something different. Normally the hill climb test is a safe test. We have a hill. It's a 10% average grade hill, okay? And 10% average grade, that's different than degrees of slope, right? That's probably equivalent of like 18 degrees, something like that. It's steep, right? It's steep enough that if you walk up it, you can't really have a great conversation because you'll be breathing hard, okay? It's not like a little steep. It's pretty steep. 10% grade is pretty steep. We have, I think we have a video that we can load up, but before I say that, like, let me just say like how we test these things. When we climb these hills, okay, the 200 feet stops about 2 car lengths from the stop sign, and it's a 4-way intersection. Normally that's not a problem because we're going, maybe on smaller scooters, we're going 10 miles an hour, and I can stop in 15 feet easily, especially on a super, an incline, right? When we test these big scooters, it becomes a challenge. And because, we're going fast, upwards of 25 miles an hour at 2 car lengths before a stop sign, and it's not safe. So let me show you the video of kind of like how we had to do this. So this is how fast I went up this crazy hill and this is from a dead stop, by the way. This is not a rolling start. And as you can see, the edge is right next to the stop sign. So what we ended up doing is we tested this with Richie and myself. Richie stood at the top of the hill and made sure there was no cars coming. When there's cars coming, he told me not to go. When there were cars, when they stopped, then I could go. And then we got our measurements. We filmed a little bit of it, that sort of thing. I don't know if we have my cell phone video on here. Maybe not. No. Cell phone videos may be on our YouTube story if you check that out. But basically, I'll talk about the brakes in a minute when it comes to the hill climb. But basically, we had to end up using the regen brakes rather than the hydraulic brakes, believe it or not, to brake at the top of that hill in order to not hit the other curb on the other side of the street. So for the hill climb, let's go over the climbing time. Let's see here, hill climb time. As you can see, 6.8 seconds, again, broke all records, with the Pro basically tying the Q Power for what would have been the fastest time ever. If you want to know the speed, I think we have the speed. Yeah, we have the speed at now this is the speed at 200 feet from a dead stop while climbing 200 feet. And you can see we need the speed up. There we go. So the speed, 31 miles per hour, is kind of far and away above anything else. With the 60 volt, basically, I don't know. I guess the Wolf Warrior and the Q Power beat it with the bigger motors. That's where you see kind of the higher wattage motors usually went out. The Ludicrous just does this differently than anything else. It is faster than everything else. Okay, top speed. So for top speed on the Apollo Pro and Ludicrous, so let me just tell you that I don't have enough room to get this thing to a maxed out top speed. We have one block, and I can't be going 50 miles an hour at the end of a block because it's an intersection. I need to find a better place to test. So what we do is we measure it the fastest we can go within that 400 feet. And for the 60 volt Pro, I got it up to around 42 miles per hour and still accelerating. For the Ludo, it got to 44 miles per hour and still accelerating. In comparison, right, the Mantis Pro is around 38 miles an hour, right? Again, probably as fast as any normal human needs to go on a scooter. The Wolf Warrior, right, that one, I mean, I think I got it to like 44. The speedometer said 47, but, you know, all these speedometers are over, they over adjust, I guess, by around 10% typically. So the Wolf Warrior said like 47, but I believe I was going around 44. But that was like right at the end of the hill, a little bit more than 400 feet. So the Wolf might have the highest like final top speed, but I'm not sure because I didn't have the opportunity. You know, I need like a racetrack basically. Cause yeah. Okay. And then for range, let's go over range. So with this massive power, you kind of assume the range is going to be no good. But the range was fine. So as you can see, the Wolf Warrior, massive 42-mile range. And then, of course, we got our favorite eMove Cruiser over there right next to the diminutive boosted rev, unfortunately. That's a little bit sad for the rev. But, you know, the way we test this is we go maxed out, right? If we put the boosted rev in mode 1, well, of course, we're going to get like 15 miles maybe. We put all these scooters into maxed out, and then we ride them how we would normally commute. Okay. And then we do get an average speed that's not a straight division of miles over time, but we actually, Justin does it, and he uses programming, some Pascal, something to remove all speeds that are like under 3 miles per hour or something like that. So we get the average of our moving speed. And what's really interesting, right, is that if you notice, right, like the Pro Ludicrous and the Pro 60 volt, even though they have kind of basically like the same battery configuration, the same battery watt hours, right? So the same battery capacity. The Pro Ludicrous, and I'll just tell you, we were within 0.1 miles per hour in the average speed when riding, right? And the Pro Ludicrous will accelerate faster. So all those things should mean that the Ludicrous would get less range than the Pro. And I was wondering about that. And so all I can think of, right, the thing that makes sense is that when I'm actually riding, and because I did these range tests, I know when I'm riding on the Ludicrous, I actually don't use the hydraulic brakes. I may have used them once or twice. I mean, I cover them over an intersection, but when I'm actually riding, I don't use it. It's not as comfortable as that thumb regen brake. And so I use the thumb regen brake for everything. And when I'm using it, right, I'm putting energy right back into that motor. And so this 10% increase in range, while you're also accelerating probably maybe a little faster, maybe it's less jerky too. Maybe that has something to do with like less instant torque because you know, as you're hitting that throttle, you have this like super wide range of power that you can trigger at any moment. We got 10% more range. And these were done like within, I think, a week of each other. So temperature is the same. I mean, it's quite interesting. Quite interesting. All right. So let's get into ride quality. Then we'll get into the app, and then we're gonna have Ray Mir come in for the news here. Ride quality. So you know, there's other scooters that are fast. We know that. Okay. We haven't tested the Ryan. We need to. We need to get in touch with them. We need to test them. Because we want to know. We want to know how fast is that thing, because we've seen it be fast, right? It looks fast. It barely beats. I think I've seen some races with Alien Rides with that, I think, Dualtron X race, and I think it beats the Dualtron X. Does it beat it faster than this one beats it? I don't know. What I do know is that the Ryons are a bit expensive, maybe even up to $7,000 for the race edition. And again, maybe they've changed things, but I don't believe there's anywhere near the ride quality in terms of suspension, right? Like one of these scooters has an amazing suspension and is amazing to ride on a daily basis. The other one, you know, I don't know. So you know, that I'll just put that out there right now. So thumb versus trigger throttle. Okay. So I'll just tell you, okay, I prefer the thumb units more than the trigger units. And I think you can swap out the trigger stuff on these Apollos. They come with the trigger, right? Except for the Ludicrous, which is that thumb lever. How does the thumb feel on the Ludicrous? I'm going to say this for the last time. It's the best I've ever felt. Period. You can maintain your speed perfectly, which for you guys that have been riding a long time, that ride with other people, that need to ride outside of the blind spot of cars that are next to you, that don't want to feel like jerking a lot because it's like so touchy, those triggers. There is nothing that compares with this. There is just nothing. This is it. This is the one. You can maintain that speed, and when you do need massive torque, even when you're at 20, 25 miles an hour, you can, if you push that trigger all the way, you can get the thing to peel out at 25 miles an hour if you want to, which is nuts. Yeah, it's nuts. So let's talk about, so as far as the trigger, you know, if it were me, right? If I got the 60, I'd probably tune it down, because right now the 60, we put up to max everything. We actually put up maximum more than they ship it to us. We go into the P settings and we change everything to maxed out. And then it is torquey. It's jerky, right? It's hard to get that trigger to be like perfect so that like as you're accelerating, it's just a nice feel, you know, like a Tesla, like as if you ride a Tesla, right? When you hit that gas pedal, it's like, it's massive power, but it's smooth. Okay. That's the Ludo. And that's also the 52 volt Pro, because you know, you can max that thing out, and because it doesn't have that crazy power that 60 volt has, it is so super fast. It's still faster than any other scooter you'll probably ever encounter, well, ever, for the next 6 months, year, I don't know, on the streets. It's still be faster than all of that. But, you know, because you don't get that snap your head back, for people that want the best ride possible, it's either the Ludo or the 52, in my opinion. Or you take the 60 and you tune that thing down a little bit, right? There's 5 different settings where you can kind of adjust that, maybe 6. I don't know. Let's talk about the brake. The brake is the game changer. I don't know if it's more of a game changer than the throttle, but when you have to, you know, you can hold your, you know, the brake on the Ludicrous is, you can, if you want to just brake a little bit, right, you just push that thing in just a hair and you'll get that like nice little easy slowdown. If you're in an emergency, you smash it all the way, lean back, you'll stop fast. Will you stop as fast as hydraulic brakes? At 15 miles an hour, no. The hydraulic brakes will be faster if you're going slower. But if you are going, say, 35 or 40 miles an hour, the speed, the usable speed that you're going to slow down, I believe to be faster and safer with the Ludicrous using regenerative only braking, actually. And I'll stand behind that. And we talked about that. And so for the hill climb, I was skidding through the hill climb, almost hitting the far corner of the street, because I was going 31 miles an hour and I had like 40 feet to stop, and it's very hard to stop that quick. And it was a little scary. I ended up starting to use the regen brake, you know, thinking like, man, it shouldn't be as powerful. And maybe it wasn't as powerful, but the control you have and the fact that it's not skidding, right? You lose braking distance when your tires are locked up and skidding, rather than actually not skidding, right? If you want to brake the quickest possible, you don't want to lock up your brakes. You want to hit your brakes as hard as you can without them locking up, right? So that's where those regenerative brakes come in super handy, is when you're at speed. And I think it was Mac that said it. 100% agree with him. The regular hydraulic brakes on all, you know, the 52 with the upgrade and with the 60, also amazing. Like it's like the Ludo just overshadows the Pro. The Pro being what probably would have been one of the best scooters ever. It's just that, there's a story I remember from, I was in high school, and I remember my buddy and I were wrestlers, and we went to do the pull-up competition, right? And my buddy, Eric, I won't say his last name, but he broke the school record with 22 pull-ups or something, right? We were freshmen. And I was right after him. And everybody was so excited, and I felt bad. But then I broke the record right after he broke the record with like, I think 26 or something. And so I feel like that is what's happening here. The Pro kind of just broke all the records, especially at this weight, right? I mean, the Mantis Pro, it does beat that, right? In terms of a lot of things, maybe not range, but in terms of that power. But then the Ludo comes along and just blows it out of the water. That's what's the story that's happening right now. As far as comfort, right? You got a big deck. We always knew that this was one of the most comfortable scooters. It is the most comfortable scooter, in my opinion, at this weight. I think that the Wolf Warrior at 101 pounds with, I think it does have that fully hydraulic brake suspension and bigger tires, a little bit bigger tires, is going to be slightly better, but it's a 101 pound scooter. It's a little bit different class. At this class, this is the best. This is the best ride quality that there is. And you can get that on any of the Apollo Pros, which is awesome. The other cool thing that Apollo did is they actually added a notch. So when you're steering, okay, and you go left and right, you'll feel a little notch in the middle, which helps you to kind of maintain that middle. Now, when Richie first rode the Apollo scooters, right, he's like, this feels different, right? And at first it's like, do I like this? Do I not like this? For me, I highly prefer it because I actually like the fact that the handlebars are harder to turn. To me, it more feels like driving a Mercedes where you can just hold one finger on the wheel versus, having a real nimble scooter, which turns really well, but, doesn't quite hold the line, right, as well. And you have to really pay more attention. Okay. Finally, app configuration. So we have a little video of the app that we can show you here, but there is an app for it that you do need to have working. Right now, it's currently only available for iPhones, okay? This is for the Ludo, okay? So here's the app. It's only available for iPhones right now. I think they're working on an Android version. I expect that would be out. So that you do need that to have this work, okay? Is the Ludicrous, there's certain things about the Ludicrous that aren't is it a good scooter? Yeah. Is it ready for mass adoption? No. The lights don't work on it yet. I think they're going to update that in the future. So at night they're going to ship you the front light, which is nice, and you need to get a backlight. But you need to get a backlight for every scooter basically. And you can't use Android. So I have an Android, so I had to use Ramir's phone to get this to work. So again, is the Ludicrous for everybody? Not for everybody. But is it for some people? Oh yeah, it's for some people, for sure. If you want, also have an image of the VESC tool. This is a tool that I use to tune this scooter a little bit, and you can get, if you're the hacker, you can get in there and you can mess with all your settings. I mean, this is not actually the setting that I used because I didn't have it plugged in when I took the screenshot, but this is kind of an example of what the options that you have. So yeah, I mean, I think that in summary, right, you need to be taking these at your own risk. Let's just say it again. When you're going fast, really above even 20 miles an hour, you need to get not a bicycle helmet. Bicycle helmets are not rated at over 20 miles per hour. You need to get the e-bike rated or motorcycle rated helmets. You can get full face or not, but you better get a full face if you want to have a face. This is, and then if you're going to tweak this thing, you got to do that at your own risk. I don't know if Apollo is going to cover you if you get into the deep, dark secrets of this scooter and turn it up, because you could just blow everything out. I don't know. Which one should you choose? Final thing before we get into the industry news, what should you choose? If you are wanting the best ride quality, you don't need the fastest speed. This is as good as it gets for ride quality at this price, period. That's the 52. Would I get the hydraulic? Yeah, get the hydraulic with the 52. At 60, right, the people that need power, that want a fully functional scooter with the display, with the lights working, with no need for an app to futz with this, to futz with that, to like deal with like maybe in the future the app goes through development and like, oh, it breaks for a day. You know what I mean? It's not, things might happen like that, okay? For you that want like a great scooter that's like ready now, that 60 volt is as fast as any scooter that is out there, basically, right? As fast or faster, pretty much. And if you are one of the 50 people in the world that want to be on the cutting edge of micromobility in general, that's the Ludicrous. I think they're only selling 50 of them. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing else like it. And even if you go slow, there's nothing else like it. I promise you. Even at slow speeds, there's nothing out there that compares. Just it's the most comfortable. And for me, because you can maintain your speed and because you have that trigger throttle, trigger brake, that's what I use. That's what I enjoy the most. All right, that's your deep dive. Hope you guys like this. Let's next up, Ramir is coming on live, and we've got your micromobility news.
Hey.
Hey.
What's going on, Chuck? How are you?
Man, that was a heck of a.
Let me get in here. Sorry.
Whew, I feel like I've been talking for a long time.
Yeah, I thought I was never going to come on. Hey,
Man.
everybody. I haven't seen you guys, or you guys haven't seen me on the show in a while. So I just wanted to say hey.
Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Hanging in there, having fun. It's been a long show. I've been sitting over there just, looking at comments, waiting to come in the show.
Yeah, how are the comments doing? I haven't watched. I've been on this like monologue for a long time now.
They're pretty good. People are interested. If you look at a couple questions,
oh, okay. Oh, we'll get into
in
the.
there a lot.
Okay, we'll get to those questions.
We'll get to them pretty soon. I got them all pasted in there.
I'm gonna just get myself aired out. It's a little hot in here.
Yeah, it is. It's getting pretty hot.
We can't have these windows open.
It's hot in here.
Yeah, where's that music at? Let's get the track going. Let's get one of these buttons working. I'll try not to touch these buttons.
Chuck, I just wanted to ask you, how was your weekend?
It was good. I got in a little pickleball. I did a drive-by party for my sister, my older sister. She's she had a fun party. It was good. Yeah. How about you, man? What you been up to?
I've been chill. Been at the house really this weekend. Me and my son went for a short ride, about a mile. So we got on our scoots.
Nice.
Went to the park. They filmed some scoots.
Yeah.
So we got out there, and it was a good ride. Got some air in there. So that's pretty much it.
Nice. Good,
All right.
Good, man.
Boom. Scooter news. The best part of the show.
All right, let's do this.
All right, so first,
yes.
I want to start off with the shared scooter market in Chicago. Chicago is going in our second shared scooter pilot program with Bird, Lime, and Spin. They're going to scatter about 10,000 scooters around the city starting August 12th.
Yeah, that's a lot. Cool. 10,000.
Yeah,
that's way more than most cities start off with. I think some cities start with like 400.
Man,
and like this is all about network effects. This whole scooter sharing thing, man. If you don't have it, why would you get the app? Are you gonna use it 1/10 of the time?
Right. Yeah, I think that their first program almost had about 1 million. I think about 800,000 about people signed up for it. I mean, was doing it. So
yeah,
they got the numbers back and like, hey, they like it. Let's give it some more.
820,000 rides were taken from June to October of last year.
Yep, and approximately 34% said they like riding the scooters rather than taking public transportation.
That's crazy.
And the same thing is happening in the UK with Link right now. So Link is a US-based company, and the UK just approved that they can get some scooters over there for the sharing market.
Yep.
You know how it is in the UK. The scooters can't go faster than 15 miles per hour, and just But it's good to see that different areas are implementing scooters, share scooters, and that's how the personal market gets growing and just keeps thriving. So, shout out to everybody out there for riding safe and really putting a good image out there for everybody.
Yeah.
We all know scooters are great, but people see us on the streets or see us riding down the town and, looking all safe and cool. Like, I like to look cool on my scooter. I think any scooter rider, like, oh my God, that guy he looks pretty cool. So keep it up, guys.
Yeah.
Next story.
All right. Boom.
It came
Do it
back.
again.
It came back.
Apparently, it wants us to talk about that more. All right. Okay. So this blogger and cyclist, Jake Coppinger, he made an article where he detailed all the different best micromobility, but in his case, it was like bicycle apps for getting around, right? So we can use, like I use Google Maps, right?
Yeah,
I think you use that too, right?
Sometimes Apple Maps, but Apple Maps is kind of
Yeah, it might put you in a lake. Anyway, shout out to Steve Carell. Okay. But anyway, basically he did this whole analysis and he found that City Mapper, right, this app that's available for download, is the best for taking bike trips, which for us, we kind of have the same issues as bicycles, right? Potholes and like all these different things. And so I downloaded the app this morning when I saw this article, and I'm going to use it.
City Mappers?
City
I
Mapper.
need to get that on my phone.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So they're using, what is it, the open data maps or whatever protocol. They're implementing that, and I guess like people can like update it, whatever. And so, you know, I know somebody on so one of our close, you know, community members definitely I believe it was in a pothole and messed himself up.
Really?
And, you know, well, there's potholes everywhere.
Yeah, especially out here.
Yeah, I mean, and when you're riding at night, good luck. I know the one here on the bicycle path.
Yep.
There's literally a bike. It's a BART path. It's like our subway system, and it's cool. You got this like line that goes across the whole kind of northeast Bay area,
simple.
right? It's cool. And there's this kitty corner intersection that they make you cross, and literally in the path of it, there is a giant pothole that will destroy any scooter, probably any bike. And they used to have paint. And that paint just wore off.
And you can't see it at
you
night.
can't see that at night. I mean, they don't have any streetlights in Berkeley.
Right. Yeah, they sure don't. It's pretty dark in Berkeley.
Very dark.
You go down. You imagine riding at night, and you go in there. You think you're going straight to hell. Like it's good.
You mean when you hit the pothole?
Yeah, when you hit the
Pothole is hell.
That's how deep it is. It's
Yeah.
like,
You're like, yeah.
yeah.
No, I mean, so anyway, I just felt like, you know, I'm going to try it. Maybe if I can get some, you know, whatever, I'll report back on this next week and we'll see kind of how this goes. And I don't know I'd like to ask the audience if you guys have any ideas for things that you would like in an app that's like your navigation app for scooters. What do you think, Ramir? Like, what would you add for an app?
You spoke on it already, pothole prevention or something to tell you that it's a pothole coming up, and maybe like the slower or faster roads that you can kind of go to.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it for me.
I would like to avoid roads. So even if the road is 25, right? You know, some roads that are 25 are not 25. They're like 30, 33, 35, right? We know that. It's okay. It's what it is. But there's roads that are 25 that are actually kind of 25, right? And so if you could get the average speed of these cars and it could route you on that route, I would like to have that option. Right, I would like to have that. I would also like to have the option to find the roads with the speed bumps, because I particularly enjoy taking speed bumps.
Because you can take
I like getting a little bit of air, not as much as Corey, but I like getting a little bit of air, especially on that Apollo. I tell you, I put my weight down and then I kind of like lift up right as that bump comes at like 30, 35 miles an hour. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, that's pretty heavy. I'm not a big speed bump guy because, you know, I'm a big dog. Ruff, 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 ruff.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm not trying to scratch or skid over nothing.
Yeah.
So.
No, I got you. But I guess
Take those slow.
It's not even that I want to have fun. It's more that I want to go on the streets that cars are going to go slower on. So if they don't have this average speed of the cars, just pop in there which road has the speed bumps, and then you probably kind of know which ones are the ones that cars are going to go slower on. And then I don't know, but like, I don't know about you, Ramir, but like when I'm taking a certain route, I mean, maybe you differ than me, but what do you like better? Like, when you got to cross a big street, do you like stoplight or crosswalk?
Stoplight.
Yeah.
That seems more safe.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't like the crosswalk. They don't stop for me unless I get off my scooter, look the other way, with my eyes turned left, of course, and look right to pretend like I'm not looking. That's the only way I can get these cars to stop.
Yeah, people.
I mean,
I
especially
like
if you're on a
lights.
scooter or a bike, they're not stopping for you.
Yeah.
But if you're a walker, then you're good. You're
Hey.
safe.
Hey.
Yeah, no. If you're walking, it's okay.
go ahead.
But hey, if you got a wheel, no.
have to go first.
No. Yeah. That is what it is,
Yeah,
though. I
that's how
think
it is
that
out
is
there.
what it is.
Did anybody answer your question about the app?
Oh, let's see. Well, let's see. We're a little delayed, but I love this show. Someone said I love the show. Thanks, David Pizzedra. We love you too, man. All right, next.
Next story, Spin. We have Spin. The good people at Spin are doing some good things per usual. They have this thing, Build a Better Barrier competition has given the people the opportunity to imagine and design bike lane safety dividers. So a Milwaukee-based person won, Carissa Givens and designer Arthur, I'm going to butcher his last name, Takaleko, maybe, who designed a WeClaim barrier made from recycled, repurposed tires and designed to be a planner as well. So I think we have the, if you guys see if you can put some, you know, some pottery in there maybe, just something different.
It looks cool. It looks real cool. And this is, and you know, the reason why we report on this is because this is what cities need right now.
Yeah.
They need some cheap ways to get protected bike lanes. And, you know, how many old tires are there that are probably seeping into the environment, you know, decomposing or whatever they're doing. And if you can use them and make them pretty, I mean, those don't look that bad.
Yeah, they look okay. They said that, I think we have the average price on how much it costs to build a divider. It's about $100,000 to $500,000
Per mile, though. Per mile.
Excuse me.
So that's traditional.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, so here's the deal. It says the design is made available for free to communities. I don't think this is, I mean, it says in contrast to traditional bike lane construction, I don't know how much this will cost, but traditionally, $130,000 to $550,000, which seems like a lot.
Yeah, so if they're using recycled material, it has to be cheaper. So
I mean, that's a great idea. Use, like, you know, it's not, what do they call it? Reuse, recycle,
recycle,
right? There's like reduce, whatever. Anyway, it's like reusing it. And man, I don't really care if they're using, you know, toilet seats out there, as long as I get protected.
How would you design a barrier? Or
just toilet seats, just like a ring of toilet seats, still dirty. No, I wouldn't. I you know, I thought about this when this was first kind of coming on. I was like, man, this is pretty cool. I want to help out Spin because, like, this is something that we all could use, right? We all will benefit from protected bike lanes. That is what we need. That's what's going to get more women riding too, right? That's the number one reason why women don't ride bikes and scooters. Well, I think the only data is on bikes, but is the safety aspect. And we know it, right? We're riding right next to big, giant 4,000-pound cars.
Yeah.
You know, and we do it.
For me, I think if I can design a bike lane or something, a divider. You know what? The green paved road they have for the bike lanes in here in Berkeley, I like those a lot.
Yeah,
like
the color.
Maybe I'll do a video and show you guys, but I like it. It's, you know, the color's nice.
Yeah.
And it's just, it looks like you can just ride on it. Like it's,
I
like the riding areas.
And cars probably notice that and are like, you know, whereas normally they'll be like, I mean, I don't. Dude, here in Berkeley, the cars are in the bike lane riding their car. They don't care. It's just, it's another line. Yeah. Whatever. But if it's green, now you got something different. Right, that's a very smart thing to do.
Boom. And I'm just flying.
Yeah.
Like, remember that day, like 2 weeks ago, we went to go look at the new place, me, you, and Richie?
Yeah.
And we were just going in the street, going in the bike lanes. That might have been the best day of my life. And I have 2 kids.
Oh, no. Come on. Don't say that. They might be watching.
I'm just joking.
We'll cut this part out of the video. When your kids are turning 20, I'm going to show them this. All right. So industry news. Let's talk about a little bit of industry news. U-Scooters got their shipments back in stock. Booster GT, Booster Vs arriving in stock this week. So all you guys that ordered one of the best, most portable scooters out there, boom, they'll have those in stock, ready to ship to you. From Voro Motors says, we are currently working behind the scenes on a new double clamp for our cruiser. This will give our future riders a more stable stem. It's still in development, but it will likely be added to our cruisers within a few months. And the video will be, stay tuned for a video on that. So that's pretty cool. All right. Before we get into the Facebook giveaway, we will just want to say that this show is brought to you by the ESG website. The new and improved Electric Scooter Guide website now includes an updated database which adds water resistance ratings and scooter dimensions, all sortable and filterable and available in metric and imperial. Updated performance data of over 40 top electric scooters, including range and acceleration. The results of the world's largest electric scooter survey, showing you the top 13 electric scooters as voted by actual riders. Extensive reviews of over 43 electric scooters. The world's largest collection of updated and exclusive coupon codes to save you some cash. A new group ride finder local to your area. Check it out at electric-scooter.guide. Yeah. So just want to mention that Justin. Justin listens to, we listen to some feedback too sometimes, all the time. Too much, actually. These YouTube comments sometimes get us up and sometimes get us down. But anyway, group ride finder. A lot of people want to find that group ride. And so on our website, you probably don't know, but there's a little community section. Boom, you click on it, and any group ride that we found or people that have submitted, we put it in there.
Yeah.
And then it's all searchable. I think it's filterable or something by, you know, if you want to just search for your city, whatever, boom, find
I
it.
think that's pretty great. Like I just said, how we were riding, it was just, when you're riding at speed with other people who know how to ride, it just feels great. So I'm going to go in there probably tonight and see what I can do this weekend.
Bay East Skate in San Francisco, or we start one out here in the East Bay.
Yeah, I'd rather do East Bay.
I think we should just start an East Bay one and
I
just
think
do it
so.
after our live show.
Pretty much, yeah.
Tuesday nights.
Tuesday
night. I mean, I don't know. We're on the BART path. I don't know. It might be cool. Okay. So, we should do a little we should get to the Q&A, right?
Okay.
Q&A time. All right. So okay, not too many. All right. PEV Riders Cub says, when are you going to have rev rides and e-wheels on this awesome show? So we've had rev rides actually a number of times on the show. Nathan, he's awesome. I mean, you could look back into any of them. We can't obviously put everybody in on every show because that just doesn't work because there's just too many people out there. But I think Rev Rides has probably been on the show as much as anybody, maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
Voro Motors probably been on a lot. Fluid Free Ride's been on a lot. I think the people have the most scooters, most models. E-wheels, if Jason wants to be on the show, I'm happy to have him on the show. Okay. And then another comment saying the show was lit. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I mean, it's not just, I just want to say, shout out. I know this is probably our biggest show ever, which is so cool.
Smash that like button.
Yeah, smash that like button.
Smash.
Get it. But let me just give a quick shout out to the ESG team, starting with Justin on the website, Ray Mir on everything, first editor, co-host of the show, producer, many other things. Richie, producer of the live show, right now producer. He's also our editor. He's also does a lot of scooter testing. He's also in the videos. If you notice, if you ever see somebody that doesn't look like me, that's exactly my size, that's Richie. Now you know. Shout out to Mickey, my little sister, who puts together the entire live show. This whole 2-hour thing is put together by her, and she also helped us with our on screen. She's like, make sure to take deep breaths before the show because I used to get real nervous.
I didn't know what to do with my hands. When
What are we doing? So shout out to her. Shout out to Mickey. Shout out to Brandy, who handles the bookkeeping because, man, it's just too much to handle these. It's just, we are a business, right? And, we're growing just like the rest of the industry's growing. And, man, I feel for all these companies because they're all growing and it's hard to grow. It's like trying to do things right while you got 100 people trying to ask for things and whatever. And so anyway, and shout out to most of all, you guys watching on, Trina. Oh my gosh, how did I forget her?
Out to Trina.
I'm like, man, okay. Trina, geez, she's probably watching right now. She's probably like, what? These guys forgot me? No.
Just Chuck.
Yeah, just shoot. Oh, man. Anyway, shout out to Trina, our new writer, who actually wrote the script for the video that's going to be released tomorrow. And she's writing for the website now. It's allowing us to stay up because there's just so much going on that we need someone to help write. And if you want to be a member of the ESG team, hit me up, especially if you're local. I mean, we're growing. We could definitely use the help for sure. But anyway, wanted to say also, most of all, thank you to all the viewers, all of you guys, just sitting there watching us crazy people talk about scooters, things that we love. This is nothing without you guys. So anyway, big heartfelt shout out to all of you.
Big Hardy. All right, Facebook giveaway time.
Okay. Wow, Freddie Senhouse. Wow, he's trolling us. How much does Apollo pay for aggressive advertisement? So they pay us nothing to advertise, right? We work off of we're affiliates, right? So if you buy a scooter, use our link. That would be awesome because we get a percentage, a small percentage of that sale price. That's how it goes for everybody in the industry. We're one of the few that doesn't take any upfront payment for anything we do. At least we don't yet. Maybe we will in the future, but for now, no. We should start advertising, put a little ad on the site or something.
I'm down with that, but It keeps us honest when we don't get paid, so that makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, if you're asking about how much do companies pay for like their Facebook ads and Google ads and all that stuff, I have no idea because like that's not my business and I don't know. But I assume if they're advertising, it probably costs a lot. I don't know. Google, that's how Google makes their money, right? And they make a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, Facebook too. Okay. PEV Riders Club is all over this ESG. That app looks like Tony Stark designed it. Dang. Matt McCarty asked what the app is called. The app is called Test Flight, but it's, well, I actually don't even know because like other people installed it, but it's Test Flight and Storm Core within Test Flight or something. Anyway, that's how you know. Oh, another question.
It's not a question. It's more.
Oh, okay. Andrew Itoje. High-end scooters. Oh, hey, what's up, high-end scooters? I think we chat on Instagram sometimes, right? Shoot, I hope it's the right person. Sorry, I get some of these names confused. Loving the chemistry between Chuck and Ramir. Boom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, you know, we practice our relationship. No, I'm just kidding. But every relationship needs to be worked on.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Thank you guys. I mean, it's the love today is like overwhelming. I feel it. It's so cool. All right. Should we get to the Facebook giveaway? All right. Facebook giveaway. We love our Facebook community. So now it's time for the Facebook giveaway.
Okay, we're back with the Facebook giveaway. Chuck, you guys know how it goes. Chuck with the die.
Yeah.
Gets the rolling.
Yep. Let me just say real quick. This Facebook giveaway is from Apollo Scooters. Apollo Scooters will be generously giving away a Gub helmet, Gub grips, wireless horn, and taillight. Thank you, Apollo. I love how I can hear myself.
Man. Every week, man, David Ross and everybody is involved in the giveaway. The prizes are getting better and better. Like sometimes I want to quit just so I can enter.
Oh my gosh, I know we can't win,
right?
But we get some free swags from here and there. We got a bunch of shred light stuff. We got goop from Armadillos.
Armadillos, yep.
Yeah, we get stuff.
Use those a lot.
No, we
too.
do.
All right.
Here we go. So without further ado, we're gonna roll the dice. However many rolls. I think Richie is going to hit the randomizer, and we'll get this giant list of names. We'll get a winner. So here we go. That's
two times.
Two times. Here we go. 2 times. Let's. We should have some music or something. Number 1. That's an outro.
Okay, here goes the last one right here.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Alex Lee. Woo! Yeah, good job, Alex. Okay, Alex Lee, you are the winner. Shout out to David Voss for setting all this stuff up. Good job on you. It's pretty fun. And congrats to Alex. Thank you again to Apollo. Next week, anything else to say before we... we should let everybody know. Check our YouTube account tomorrow morning. Probably around 9 a.m. We're going to shoot for. This is probably one of the most difficult, most intense reviews that we've done. But we got some cool drone shots. We got, we got some pretty good stuff.
We got some surprises.
We got some pretty good stuff.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet. People are always asking about how do you guys film and things of that nature.
Okay.
We got some of that in there.
I like it.
If you guys like it, we'll show some more.
Very cool. All right. So next week. Or tomorrow, check out the review of Apollo Pro Ludicrous. Send it to all your friends, of course. That helps us out a lot. Next week, we'll probably have an ultra portable showdown, which should be real fun. Anyway, until next time.
Be safe.
Be safe. Don't forget to wear your helmet. And we will see you tomorrow in the live chat. Next Tuesday on the live show. Goodbye, everybody.
Pyaw.
Pyaw.